coming back. Something I was thinking about today, kind of like just going back to my childhood. I was like, cause like I can go like a certain period of time without talking to like my loved ones and just checking on people and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that as a way to brag. It just had a thought, and I was like, maybe that came from my childhood because I did go through like depressing moments and times in my childhood, and which led to me to be like really isolated. And then just like the normal flow that my household was going, or just yeah, like I'm gonna just say that the normal flow that my household had around that time or a certain time, it led me to be really isolated. And the isolation led me to depression along with other things. And like, I just was just thinking like, dang, was that like a pivotal moment into where like that kind of like stage how I am to where it's like I am kind of isolated right now. It's like I can like check in on people, but it's like it's not like a weekly thing. It may not be like a bi-weekly thing, and even then, like I gotta have the energy for it. It's like I don't want to just do it just because it seems like the right thing to do. It's like I want to do it because I actually want to talk to you, I actually want to check in on you. I don't want to do it just like a little to-do list. And I feel as if like this the stuff that just how isolated I was when I was a kid. This kind of like that like comes into like how I handle certain stuff now, just based off just like my free time and just I don't know, just really just being to myself. It's like I just really just it just life be life. Life really be life sometimes, and I really don't be having the energy just to check in on folks. Yeah, I know that may sound bad to people, but to me it's just the honest truth. And I feel like a lot of people kind of feel that way also, but I think they just not that honest with themselves and not that strong with their boundaries. I feel like, you know. And some people they just really that close with their loved ones and whoever they is in their lives. But it's like for me to be like that for so long in my childhood, I mean like that for years, and for me to like really feel alone for years, I can't just of course turn that off into adulthood, because it's like that gonna pretty much transfer into adulthood, because it wasn't just like me being like a kid, it went to like a kid teenage years, you know what I'm saying? So like, why wouldn't it transfer to me just being an adult, you know? And I just thought that was really interesting today, because I don't know if I thought about that today, because it kind of did seem like a deja vu moment. But then again, it was like, dang, like it had like a little light bulb moment, because I was like, dang, I was like just trying to connect the dots. Because, I'm just trying to, like I said, I always ask myself questions, always examine myself. I want to be as self-aware as I can be. Like I was thinking, like, I was always, not always, but pretty much to myself. And I did have a lot of quiet moments. I mean, moments where I would just not talk to nobody. Like, not even my homeboys at recess. My homeboys at recess, like in like the fourth, fifth grade, like they be worried about me. They would like tell the teacher, like, Dominique not himself. And it's like I would really just go through moments is where like, man, it was really depressing moments. I can kind of understand some of the moments why, but then sometimes I feel as if I was just so aware about life, and just at a young age, it's like, man, this life shit weird as hell, dog. Like I was not fucking with being a human. In my early years, I was like, yo, this shit is weird, bro. Like it was just, and like I said, when you always felt alone as a child, you know that isolation just comes so naturally. Especially when you feel misunderstood, and just me being an adult. I just love my isolation. I love my free time. I love just being able to just only worry about my energy, only be around my energy, and observe my energy, conserve it, all that. And yeah, it was just very interesting to see where that came up on. I was about to speak on something else about that too. I just lost my train of thought because I had to get that other train of thought out first. That one thing about communicating, like you can have one train of thought, but you gotta get that one out first, cause that train of thought is just as important as what's going to say next. You know. But yeah, man, I don't think it's a bad thing though. I'm just glad I'm self-aware enough to understand like just possibly where it came from and why it is the way it is in my adulthood. That way, oh, cause like I feel like I naturally need my alone time anyway. If I'm around a lot of people, like especially like at work, or we got like a family event, like graduation parties, just anywhere. If I'm around a lot of people, like after that, I'm gonna need my space just to recuperate. And with me being where I'm at right now with a job where I'm working the after hours, I only get two, maybe some days, 1 day off a week, and you expect me to still retain whatever energy I have just to reach out to somebody and just give my hand and stuff like that. Now it's just like, I'm sacrificing. And like I said in my last video, I don't want to ever be at the point where I'm always sacrificing. Cause I gotta sacrifice something. If I want to give something out, I want to give it because I got so much of abundance to give it out. I got so much energy I can give you this amount because I know I kept pouring into myself so many times, so many moments throughout the day, throughout the week, that it's nothing for me to give it out. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm drained from work, I'm drained from my core, I'm drained from life, I'm drained from bills, I'm drained from just everyday shit, and then still just gotta have like an expectation just to reach out to certain people just because it seems right or it morally sound right to do. And I can't do it. I just can't do it. And like it just I'm already going against myself so many times throughout the week, and I'm already saying no to myself so many times that I gotta say no, like waking up to go to a fucking job for X amount of hours and doing around just doing how to deal with that. So it's like when it's time to where like I definitely have the power, to say yes to myself. I gotta pretty much say yes to myself. Not every time, but damn near every time, because why would I say no to myself? I'm saying no to myself is doing something I don't want to do, being somewhere I don't want to be, sacrificing something I don't want to sacrifice, and draining, taking something out of me that shouldn't really be taken out. If I feel it was right. And like I said, that will rub a lot of people the wrong way, but who are they to really matter in like how I'm treating myself, how I'm pouring into myself, how I'm loving myself? Because anytime I didn't love myself, I didn't pour into myself, I didn't give myself the respect that I needed. I'm still suffering through that stuff today because I got trauma, I got triggers from that, and that shit stays with you. It stays with you. And like not loving yourself is very expensive. That shit costly, dog. So I never want to be in a point or in a position to where I'm always saying no to myself. I'm not loving myself. I'm not pouring into myself consistently. And that's why this job shit is so aggravating, because it's so much limited time that I feel as if I can effectively and really intentionally pour into myself and not feel as if I'm rushing with the intent. I'm rushing with the love that I'm trying to give to myself. That's what is so aggravating right now. And right now, like I gotta say yes to myself as much as I can. So a lot of people will get told no, or stuff will get, I don't know. Like I just really will be isolated in my own boat because I'm trying to collect my thoughts, my feelings, my energy. I'm trying to understand just where I'm at in my goals. I'm trying to honor where I'm at in my goals. I'm still trying to tell myself like, okay, we right here, but we gotta get better. We got another level that we gotta attain soon. It is so much. It's so much. Life is fucking draining, dog. Life is so draining. God damn. And then like you just have these expectations that you gotta fulfill for other people when you deal with your own shit. And it's like, damn, ain't y'all dealing with your own shit while you like, god damn, it just, but life is not always gonna be like this though for me. Life is not always gonna be like, man, I was on the phone with my brother like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, man, I'm tired, man. I'm working all these hours, I'm tired, bro. Like, man, you always gonna be tired like that. This life, you gotta just come to that realization you always gonna be tired. I'm like, hold on, pump your brakes, dog. I ain't, don't speak your negativity on me. I'm not gonna be always tired. I'm not gonna always be on somebody's clock. I'm not always gonna be current in this current timeline, I'm telling you that right now, I'm always gonna be elevating and trying to find a way to always get to another level. Why the hell would I always want to be tired? Why would I accept that my life, I'm always gonna be so tired? What kind of life is that to live to always be tired? Like what the, so when he said that, that sparked like a little energy pack in my damn body. Like nah, ain't no way in hell I'm about to allow myself to even think like that, to have any type of thought of me always being tired, drained from working for somebody. Hell no, like ain't no way. I could never. And speaking of that, last week, this week, whatever, like I said, at work, I am tunnel vision. I don't really like to talk at all at work. I talk on here, but at work, I prefer not to talk to nobody. But people love talking to me. People love fucking with me, So I'm on break, and a dude, he asked me certain questions throughout the day because he was looking for somebody. Cool. And he had introduced himself because we never introduce ourselves because just we don't work together. We just be in similar areas at a certain time. So he had introduced himself, and he was like, "Yeah, I never had a chance to talk to you because anytime I see you at work, I see you working. You always focus. You always you always just focus on your job." I said, "Yeah, man, I be trying to just get it going, man, get everything out." And when he said that, like it was like like what the fuck you just say to me? And like he didn't say nothing wrong, but I took it as the universe telling me like, yeah, you doing all this fucking work, you putting all this energy into your job, but is you putting the same amount of energy into your motherfucking career, into yourself? Is you really hungry for this shit? Do you really want this, your life, your ideal life, as bad as you do, or as bad as you want to go home, when you want to go home at the job? And like as soon as he said that, like I took that as a sign from the universe, like to make sure that I am that focused, I'm that intentional on my shit, on my career, on training, on my just personal life as I should be at that job. And the only reason I'm going so hard at that job because like the less we do at that job on that specific day, the more bullshit I gotta deal with the next day. So I gotta work hard to make sure that my day tomorrow is easier. And I gotta work a certain pace and make sure I get home at a certain fucking time because I gotta be up at 3 o'clock in the motherfucking morning to be there the next day. So I gotta bust my ass to the point where my day can go by a little bit easier and faster for the current day and the next day, so I can go home when I need to go home and not stay another 30, 45 minutes and have to deal with bullshit in the morning. So that's why that's why the energy and the attention I work is so focused, because I gotta deal with so much bullshit. I gotta, make it easy for myself. And like I gotta continue to have that mindset on my own personal craft, my own personal business, my own career, and not just somebody else's career. And I'm not saying I just started doing this. I've been had the same energy. I always been talking about me putting in my energy with trading and always being great, going to this level, blah blah blah. That always been that, but it was just like just like another little sign, like, hey, don't let up, keep going. Like this time in our life is so intentional, it's so important. And I want to make sure I'm so intentional, so locked in, so focused. Just like that, I am at work on my shit to the point where I don't fumble what I got going on right now, that I don't lose sight of what I'm trying to do. And, yeah, like, I like, yeah, he fucked up, saying that, because it just, it was very, 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 like a pivotal statement that he said to me. So like I appreciate the universe giving me that little, little nugget, and just knowing that like, yeah, man, like there's no reason we should be not putting more energy into our own self, our own life, our own career, our own craft than we are to somebody else who really don't care about us, who will lay us off in a blink of an eye. So yeah, man, always trying to be great, always trying to just I can always take it to another level. I can always, take it there. And I had to ask myself, like, okay, I know we going hard. I know we always studying. I know we always doing this, but can we do it a little bit harder? Can we just improve a little bit more? And like I said before, like even if it's just a little bit, like an inch of an answer that, yeah, we can, I gotta go, I gotta go hard to that. I gotta always honor that inch of growth that I can see within myself, that I can reach that at my potential can't reach a little bit higher, you know. I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. You know, got to, and I will. Like I will. I will. Like I said, this current timeline will not be my life. I will not always be tired. I will not always be talking about the 9 to 5 bullshit. You know, it won't always be like this. So, right now, like I said, most of my content has been about just the 9 to 5, just me being tired and whatever. But it's cool though, cause like I'm honoring where I'm at. Like I'm really honoring it. I'm talking about it. I'm seeing it. I understand why I'm like this. The goals that gonna come from it. You know, the stuff that I'm learning from it. Just everything. So yeah, man. But it's starting to feel like I'm trying to ramble. It's starting to feel like I'm about to ramble. So I'm gonna just end it off right there. I did get one more subscriber. He didn't say his name, but I did get another subscriber. So thank you to that new subscriber.